Hello once again everybody and welcome back to our book club. We are reading Sheep Pig from Stoneleigh Junior School. It's one of our reading books for year 3 and we're on chapter 2. Now chapter 2 is called There. Is that nice? So let's get going. In the farmyard, Fly, the black and white collie, was beginning the training of her 4 puppies. For some time now they had shown an instinctive interest in anything that moved, driving it away or bringing it back, turning it to the left or right, in fact, herding it. They had begun with such things as passing beetles, but were now ready, Fly considered, for larger creatures. She set them to work on Mrs. Hoggett's ducks. Already the puppies were beginning to move as sheepdogs do, seeming to creep rather than walk, heads held low, ears pricked, eyes fixed on the angrily quacking birds as they manoeuvred them about the yard. "Good boys," said Fly, "leave them now. Here comes the boss." The ducks went grumbling off to the pond, and the 5 dogs watched as Farmer Hoggett got out of the Land Rover. He lifted something out of the crate in the back and carried it into the stables. "What's that, Mum?" said one of the puppies. That was a pig. "What will the boss do with it?" "Eat it," said Fly, "when it's big enough." "Will he eat us?" said another rather nervously. "When we're big enough?" "Bless you," said his mother. "People only eat stupid animals, like sheep and cows and ducks and chickens. They don't eat clever ones, like dogs." "So, pigs are stupid?" said the puppies. Fly hesitated. On the one hand, having been born and brought up in sheep country, she had in fact never been personally acquainted with a pig. On the other hand, like most mothers, she did not wish to appear ignorant before her own children. "Yes," she said, "they're stupid." At this point there came from the kitchen window a long burst of words like the rattle of a machine gun, answered by a single shot from the stables, and Farmer Hoggett emerged and crossed the yard towards the farmhouse with his loping stride. "Come on," said the collie. "I'll show you." The floor of the stables had not rung to a horse's hoof for many a year, but it was a useful place for storing things. The hens foraged about there, and sometimes laid their eggs in the old wooden mangers. The swallows built their nests against its roof beams with mud from the duck pond, and rats and mice lived happy lives in its shelter until the farm cats cut their lives short. At one end of the stables were 2 loose boxes with boarded sides topped by iron rails. One served as a kennel for Fly and her puppies. The other sometimes housed sick sheep. Here, Farmer Hoggett had shut the Piglet. A convenient stack of straw bales allowed the dogs to look down into the box through the bars. "It certainly looks stupid," said one of the puppies, yawning. At the sound of the words, the Piglet glanced up quickly. He put his head on one side and regarded the dogs with sharp eyes. Something about the sight of this very small animal standing all by itself in the middle of the roomy loose box touched Fly's soft heart. Already she was sorry that she had said that pigs were stupid, for this one certainly did not appear to be so. Also, there was something dignified about the way it stood its ground, in a strange place confronted with strange animals. How different from the silly sheep, who at a mere sight of a dog would run aimlessly about, crying "Wolf! Wolf!" in their empty-headed way. "Hello," she said. "Who are you?" "I'm large white," said the piglet. "Blimey," said one of the puppies. "If that's a large white, what's a small one like?" And all 4 of the other puppies sniggered. "Be quiet," snapped Fly. "Just remember that 5 minutes ago you didn't even know what a pig was." And to the piglet she said kindly, "I expect that's your breed." "I meant, darling, what's your name?" "I don't know," said the piglet. "Well, what did your mother call you, to tell you apart from your brothers and sisters?" said Fly. And then she wished she hadn't, for at that mention of his family the piglet began to look distinctly unhappy. His little forehead wrinkled, and he gulped, and his voice trembled as he answered. "She called us all the same." "And what was that, dear?" "Babe," said the piglet, and the puppies began to giggle until their mother silenced them with a growl. "Arr!" "That's a lovely name," she said. "Would you like us to call you that too? It might make you feel more at home." At this last word, the little pig's face fell even further. "I want my mum," he said, getting quieter. At that instant the collie made up her mind that she would foster this unhappy child. "Go out into the yard and play," she said to the puppies, as she climbed to the top of the straw stack and jumped over the rail and down into the loose box beside the piglet. "Listen, babe," she said. "You've got to be a brave boy. Everyone has to leave their mother. It's all part of growing up. I did so, about when I was your age, and my puppies will have to leave me too quite soon. But I'll look after you if you like." Then she licked his little snout with a warm, rough tongue, her plumed tail wagging. "There, is that nice?" she said. A little while later, Farmer Hoggett came into the stables with his wife to show her his prize. They looked over the loose box door and saw, to their astonishment, Fly curled around the piglet. Exhausted by the drama of the day, he lay fast asleep against his new found foster parent. "Well, will you look at that?" said Mrs. Hoggett. "That old Fly, she'll mother anything. Kittens, ducklings, baby chicks. She's looked after all of them now. Oh, 'tis a pig she's gone for now. Oh, isn't he lovely? What a picture! Good job he don't know where he'll finish up, eh? But he'll be a big boy by then, and we'll be glad to see the back of him, or the hams of him, I should say. Oh, wonder how I shall get it in the freezer." "Pity, really," said Farmer Hoggett absently. Mrs. Hoggett went back to her kitchen, shaking her head all the way across the yard at the thought of her husband's soft-heartedness. The farmer opened the loose box door and, to save the effort of a word, clicked his fingers to call the dog out. As soon as Fly moved, the piglet woke and followed her, sticking so close to her that his snout touched her tail tip. Surprise forced Farmer Hoggett into speech. "Fly!" he said in amazement. Obediently, as always, the collie turned and trotted back towards him. The pig trotted behind too. "Sit!" said Farmer Hoggett. Fly sat. Babe sat. Farmer Hoggett scratched his head. He could not think of anything to say. There we go. That is the end of chapter 2 on Babe. Well, so we've learnt the name of the pig. We've learnt that the pig is called Babe, and that Farmer Hoggett has taken them into the barn kind of area and placed them there. The little puppies didn't really know what Babe was, and Fly wasn't too sure either, but she has taken it upon herself to look after Babe and try and make him feel a little bit more at home. So there we have it. That's the end of chapter 2. Have to tune in for another reading of The Sheep Pig. Almost forgot the title then. Another reading of The Sheep Pig on one of the next links on this week's or next week's timetable. Okay folks, nice to see you and thanks for listening. See you soon.